What is up, guys? It is 5:34 a.m. and it is day 2 at the Running Warehouse HQ in beautiful San Luis Obispo, California. Look at these mountain views from the hotel room. Absolutely absurd. But this morning, boom, it's not about the mountain views. It's about the bouncing shoes. You like that one, or is that too much of a dad joke? Anyway, we have the Asics Magic Speed 4 here. One of the other highly anticipated shoes that has come out recently that you guys have not been able to stop asking me about. Yesterday, we did the first run review in the New Balance SC Trainer V3. I liked it. I really actually did like the shoe. It reminded me a lot of the Rebel, but more protective and not as soft as the last version. And that's a trend I think we're seeing across some of these plated training shoes. As they're going up in stack height, they're losing a little bit of that super soft feeling, but adding some protection and becoming better for more people. This shoe seems like it's going to be a better option for a lot of runners out there, similar to the Puma Deviate Nitro 3. Now, with the Asics Magic Speed 4 in this box, this is going to be my first experience with the Magic Speed. I tried the SC Trainer V2, I tried the OG Hyperion Max, I tried the Deviate Nitro 2, so I don't have a lot of grounding in what this shoe used to be. So that's not the frame we're going to take thinking about what the Magic Speed 4 is today. And I do think the Magic Speed was a little bit of the... Because Asics, let's say it this way, because Asics has the Superblast, the Magic Speed was not as popular. The SC Trainer was popular, the Endorphin Speed was popular, the Boston 12 was popular, the Deviate Nitro 2 was popular, and the Superblast was their competitor. So with the Magic Speed, I'm interested to see how they've nudged this plated trainer line, given that they already have that high stat cruiser, and all of these shoes up at the top here are a little bit more similar to something like the Superblast versus the Saucony Endorphin Speed. So Asics Magic Speed 4, by the way, Running Warehouse gave this one to me, so shout out to Running Warehouse. The first two shoes that I'm opening up here at the Running Warehouse HQ have been the New Balance SC Trainer V3 and the Magic Speed 4. So shout out to Running Warehouse. Let us get into it. Alright, so I'm actually going to bring this, let's bring it over here, get some better lighting. We need that spotlight on the Magic Speed, so I need to clean up my workspace. Alright, boom. Moment of truth here. Asics Magic Speed 4. Let's see. We do have it in our standard 10.5. It says the colorway on the box, but let's ignore that. And let's just open it up. See if we got a bang-worthy shoe. And boom. Oh, Running Warehouse wants me to wear this stuff. We actually have to do some workout in this shoe later. Let's take a look. Boom. Ooh. Alright, so we have this vibrant yellow, and here's the thing, man, this colorway used to be, I think, the most popular, the coolest, the hypest running shoe colorway, especially for these performance shoes. And over the past few, I don't know if it's past few years, yeah, it's shifted away a little bit. Brands are going with the gradient, and we don't see as much of this hyper yellow or volt or whatever it is. I like that Asics is going with it. They call it safety yellow, I think, here on the box. Yeah, they say safety yellow and black. I like it. So, first thing I'm noticing here, boom, doing a little push test. Midsole is slightly firm in the back here. Now, this is a dual foam midsole, so most of it is going to be FF Blast Plus or whatever Asics calls their training foam, and then some of it is racing foam. You can see they say FF Turbo right here. So, there's a little puck of FF Turbo. So, I wanted to just look this up to make sure I got it exactly right. And what Asics says is there's FF Turbo located in the forefoot. That's pretty much all they say. And then they say lightweight FF Blast Plus combines with FF Turbo. So okay, let's look at this. Yeah, so if you look here, it's not even as much of the FF Turbo as the Boston 12 has Light Strike Pro. It is literally just this little puck. Can you see that? It's just a little puck. Let's see, underneath the plate. So top layer is FF Turbo here. That's a little bit confusing because they stamped the FF Turbo right on the red, which would make you think this entire thing of red or the entire front is FF Turbo. It is not. It is the training foam. So top layer is training foam, bottom layer is training foam, and then where this seam is, that's where the plate, underneath the plate, look at this, sorry, a little Face ID action, bang, underneath the plate. This is almost like the Adidas Audi Zero SL1, that puck right there. So boom. Let's see right here, up in the forefoot, just this little bang, a little Supwell business card sized amount of race foam right up there. So a little bit confusing, not a lot of it confusing, but hopefully that adds a little bit of pop. I have heard a few people say now, one of the guys on the trip yesterday said that this feels very similar to the Boston 12. And you guys know I absolutely love the Boston 12. It did not make it on this trip with me. It's actually pretty much retired at this point because I put 300 miles on it. But the key complaints people have with that shoe were that it felt a little bit awkward for landing out in the back. I'm hoping this resolves it. This foam does feel a touch softer than the Light Strike in the Boston 12, the training foam in the Boston 12. It also seems like it just has a little bit more of a forgiving geometry in the back here with this bump out in the heel. And then the other complaint people had was the upper. So this upper looks pretty nice, especially compared to those Adidas shoes. You get a little bit more padding. It's actually kind of weirdly structured in the back here. The upper in this almost looks like the Asics Metaspeed shoes. So hopefully it fits a little bit longer. So the complaint with the Metaspeed shoes was that all of those fit maybe half a size too small. So hopefully this fits normally, but upper looks nice and breathable. You got a performance material. Let's see. We do have that little strap down for the tongue on the inside and a really rigid piece again in the back, which I think is going to be helpful given how narrow this is. Wow, it is very narrow. Let me go grab some of the other shoes that we brought so you can see. So yeah, compared to the SC Trainer V3, let's take a look at this. You get a lot more of that width on the SC Trainer V3. The foam is also a little bit softer on the SC Trainer V3 versus the FF Turbo. I'm guessing the Magic Speed 4 is going to be a tiny bit more aggressive. Also the geometry here and the stack height, it just makes it look like a little bit more of an aggressive shoe. Now, if we compare it to the Hyperion Max 2, which is my favorite for running, which has been my favorite of this newer crop for fast running, this thing is an absolute killer. The geometry on this is sick with the forefoot. This little rocker, look at that. Bang. You get a lot of foam up here and in the back too for protection, but the forefoot foam is super noticeable in the Hyperion Max 2. And then the rocker just creates a super fast ride where it's almost impossible to run slow in this guy. But comparing them for width, pretty similar down at the bottom. It's just narrower up at the top. So Asics does this thing sometimes with their speed shoes. On the Metaspeed shoes, those were very narrow, which helped save weight but made the stability not that great. And this does feel like a pretty lightweight shoe. I don't have my scale here, but I can fire up the specs on Running Warehouse just to see where it comes in, but it feels like a lightweight shoe. And I think because they have the Superblast, which that has a wider base, they don't need to make this the wide do-it-all mileage masher shoe. They can tool this to be more of that speed training shoe. Now with that, it does have a very tall stack. Let me fire up the specs actually just so we can check. All right, taking a look now. Oh, they don't have heel and forefoot stack on here, but they do have weight, 8.5 grams and an 8mm drop. So let's just compare on the eye test. So this is size 10.5, and we'll also compare on foot. The Brooks Hyperion Max is a size 10.5. It is tall. It is a tall shoe. These are both tall shoes. I have to say the SC Trainer V3 probably felt like the tallest, and yeah, it even just looks a little bit taller, and the foot is sitting up higher. And another great way you can tell stack height is just taking a look at the height of the upper. The height of the upper on the SC Trainer V3 is higher, and where the foam ends is higher. Now, you're not getting all this underfoot. Your foot does sit down probably right here where this geometric, what is this called? Geometric bump, but you are getting a lot of stack in the SC Trainer V3 compared to the Magic Speed. So the one thing though is they are making this a higher stack shoe that should provide protection for those fast miles. So similar to the Boston 12, what I'm hoping to get out of this shoe is a little bit of that cushion, a little bit of that impact absorption, but a lot of speed assistance. And if you look at this shoe and just look at the design language, they're not going to put this colorway with this weird sideways V chevron on the Nimbus, a slow shoe. No, they've designed this thing to look like a fast banger, and I'm hoping that's what we get. So down on the bottom here, let's see, lots of rubber coverage, similar design language here on the rubber, and actually overall to the Metaspeed shoes. They have a similar layout here, but on the Metaspeed shoes, a little bit less in the back. This is not, it's a decently thick layer. You get some exposed foam in the back. This middle area isn't usually a problem for me, and you do have the main areas on the side here covered. Let's compare it to SC Trainer V3. I think this has a little bit of a thicker layer. Also, the New Balance shoes have had really good performance in the rain for me. And if we take a look compared to the Hyperion Max, let's see, this guy has some good rubber coverage as well. I also have the Puma. We're going to have to take a look at the Puma. That was my biggest surprise with the Deviate Nitro 3, actually, was that they did away with a little bit of the rubber. I'm not exactly sure why. I think maybe to save weight, but you still do have the Puma grip on here, and it still performs well, but it's not as grippy. It doesn't have the nubs from the past generation. So this is one of the best shoes for wet weather performance, Deviate Nitro 3. The Asics shoes have historically been some of the worst. So we'll have to see if we can get some water at some point today and do a little bit of a wet weather test. So decent amount of coverage though, especially in the front. So we'll see if you're a 4-foot striker, probably going to get some good durability out of this. The back is okay. And then boom, full carbon plate. You can see through here. Let's do a little flex test. Whoa. Whoa. That is a very stiff shoe. Just going to compare it just so. Yeah, you get a little bit more flex because the Hyperion Max 2 has a plastic plate. Let's see, Deviate Nitro 3. Pretty stiff as well. And the Deviate Nitro 3 really felt like a racing shoe to me. It has a lot of the racing foam on top, way more racing foam. And this might be one of the best bang for your buck shoes on the market. It's $160 and you get a ton of racing foam with a rigid carbon fiber plate in a ride that feels pretty fast while still being protective. So it's weird because the shoe just dropped, and it's weird to say it's being underrated or not given enough credit, but of all the latest crop of shoes I've tested, I think this one and the Topo Spectre are going to be the least hyped up just because of the brands, but this is going to deserve some shine as well. It feels way more like a race shoe than something like this guy, the SC Trainer V3. This definitely felt like a high stack cruiser with some capability to do speed, but a little flex here. Also very stiff. So those carbon plates just add a ton of stiffness. It's actually, SC Trainer V3 is probably even stiffer than the last generation, but just take a look at the 4-foot foam in here for a second. The stack compared to the Magic Speed. The Magic Speed should be a little bit more nimble to run and more natural at throwing down some fast paces. So that's my plan for this morning. Do a little bit of a fast workout. What time is it? 5:51. Okay, perfect. So I actually need to get some coffee. So I'm going to go down to the front desk, see if I can do that, and then let's do a fit and feel check. And then we can go out and get some miles in. Also should refill my bottle here. I have been managing to stay on top of my hydration pretty well. Not the best, but I'm not super dehydrated from yesterday. Traveling always takes it out of me. By the way, Brooks Ghost Max, that was my travel shoe. And then Balos, that's the daily trainer I brought here. I really like the shoe. It's weird because yesterday, a lot of people were mixed. It was a pretty split consensus. But I think actually the main thought was that it was maybe too soft, which for me, I love soft. So I love this thing. It's been my go-to shoe since I got it. I think we have 40 something miles on it now. I really like it. So if you like super soft, you will love this shoe. And the reason why I wanted to talk about it right now is a lot of the plated training shoes are now shifting to being a little bit stiffer, a little bit more rigid, a little bit higher stack with that carbon plate. This guy still has that fun. It's not a low shoe, but a little bit more of a regular daily trainer feel, but with the fun and with the softness. So should we lace these things up, do a little water and coffee trip in the Balos real quick, and then we can get our magic speeds on? Man, it is like slipping my foot into a cloud with these. I still do like my Ghost Max, and I might prefer them for all day comfort, but this is almost like a recovery shoe. If you've ever tried the Croc slides that we've been working with, I'll put my link to the Croc slides below. But if you've tried the Croc slides or the other brands, I'm not going to name them. They're trash. No, I'm just kidding. They're not trash, but you guys just know we're Crocs are Supple certified. If you've tried those recovery slides, that's almost what these feel like. All right, let's go pop downstairs. I'm going to tie my laces real quick. I'm not going to burden you with that. And then we can go get these Magic Speed 4s on. Hold on, before we go, we got to get one more shot of the mountain sunrise. Should I just leave the camera here, do a little time-lapse action? Boom, enjoy. Alright, I hope that was cool, but you certainly did not miss anything down there. We got the La Quinta in coffee. This was the Dakota Roast, and it was quite confusing. I felt like I was trying to pick between shoes, and I know this is how a lot of you guys probably feel. Should I get the Magic Speed 4 or the Superblast? Look at this. Okay, Dakota Roast, bold flavor and full body, highlighted by subtle notes of rich cocoa. And then they had the French Roast. That's my alarm. We're up before the alarm, bro. Still on East Coast time. But the French Roast, that's deep flavors and intense aromas in a full body brew. They're both dark. One is deep, intense. The other one is bold and rich. Tell me what's the difference? What's the difference? That's like what these brands do. They say this shoe is a cushioned everyday runner. And then they say this one is the comfortable one you're going to want to pull for any run of the week. What's the difference? All right. Let us lace these guys up. Magic Speed 4. I also should probably pick some clothes to run in. By the way, I don't know if you saw, look at that. Boom. We have the Supwell certified running shirts now. I did a limited run of these, but they will be available soon. But boom, Supwell, up your best. Up your best. I'm probably not going to wear it now because I only have a few. But let's throw on some, let's see. Little New Balance running shirt. Classic features socks. You already know. Then it's actually a little bit cooler out here. I ran in long pants yesterday, but I'm just going to go with, what do we have? I actually don't even have that many. How did I not bring that many running shorts? That's crazy. This is a running trip. Guess I'll just wear these tan John G. Alright guys, lacing up the Magic Speed 4, and I just had the Balos on, which is probably the softest shoe to come out this year. Now, man, so this is $170, and let me tell you right away, just feeling it, so the upper felt fine when it was up there on the desk, but just feeling it, about to put it on, the upper does not feel as nice as some of these other plated training shoes. It feels a bit stiffer, and yeah, just slipping my foot in here, that's a little bit of the vibe of this shoe. It's overall a little bit stiffer than any other shoe. The heel, I'm not sure I really love the feeling of the heel here, and of course, I just came from the Balos, so that's going to inform my opinion here, but let me get the Hyperion Max on the other foot, so we can do just a little bit of a fit and feel comparison to one of the leaders in the clubhouse right now, and I will do a workout test between those two at some point. Man, we're going to have a lot of fun videos. I might have to do just 2 weeks straight of comparisons when we get back to the shoe market, because it's hard, right? How do you decide between the Dakota Roast and the French Roast? But yeah, getting the Hyperion Max 2 on foot here on the other side. So this is my favorite of the firmer, faster leaning speed training shoes, and it's $10 more expensive than the Magic Speed. And just stepping into it, it just feels nicer. Something about it, it feels a little bit, yeah. The upper feels like it conforms to my foot better in the Hyperion Max. So far, the Magic Speed, the upper just feels a little bit stiff, a little bit starchy. And the foam underfoot is definitely on the firmer side. It's not going to be as soft as something like the SC Trainer V3 or the Balos. But let's do a little bit of a walk test between these two. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, why don't we do a little walk down the hall, refill our water. But so far, I just had to walk around the hotel room a little bit. So far, the Hyperion Max 2 feels a touch softer. The Magic Speed 4 is very firm underfoot here, and it's not a comfort design shoe, but I'm surprised a little bit at how firm it is. Should we do a little treadmill test? Yeah, then the other thing is the fit on here, so I did not talk about fit yet. Fit's true to size with the length. Definitely make sure my bottle doesn't overfill. Oh! All right, little hotel gym water. One sip, everybody knows rules. Yeah, definitely not as tight as the Sky Paris, which is nice. My foot is at the end, but not bumping up too much against the toe box, and then it is a little bit narrow. My left foot is a touch wider, and man, right out of the box, I do have that rubbing. I get that hot spot on the left side here. You guys know what I'm talking about. If you have a slightly wider American foot, it rubs a little bit. Saucony is the worst offender, and I'm getting a little bit of that in this Magic Speed 4 here. So, other thing is the stability, though, out in the back the heel feels very locked in. Whatever they did with that plastic heel cup, very locked in. It's, I don't know, it's super stiff and rigid though. Compared to a shoe like the Hyperion Max, the upper on this one is just great, but a little bit more flexibility and comfort. I don't know if that's necessarily going to influence the ride, and maybe it's necessary because you have this narrower platform, but the heel on the upper is very stiff. But let's go get the other one on, and then we can take these guys out for some miles. A little San Luis Obispo morning tour. Alright, lacing up this other Magic Speed 4 here. Plan for this run is, I don't even know. I'm going to try to get about an hour in. It's 6:20 right now, and then we have to be back here by 8. We're filming some mystery run challenge with Running Warehouse this morning with the Magic Speeds, but they told me that I'm probably not going to be accumulating a ton of mileage. It's more of a fun activity, sort of a run, so I'm going to try to get about an hour in these this morning. I don't know where I'm going because we're on a trip here, so I don't have my normal routes. And of course, I don't really want to do the treadmill. And man, yeah, this upper is, you guys know I don't complain about uppers that much, but $170, this is probably my least favorite upper out of all the plated trainers I've tried this year. Not necessarily in terms of the fit, but just the materials used and how it's all coming together. It doesn't feel as nice as the other uppers, especially after just coming from this Hyperion Max 2 upper. And the reason that this is so nice, let me brighten this up one touch. The reason that this guy is so nice is you have a nice, slightly stretchy material. It hugs your foot when you slip it on. It feels very considered, like they put a lot of thought into it. This Magic Speed 4 upper honestly seems like they took it from the Hyper Speed or $100 training shoe and then just slopped it on top of the base of foam. And I'm wondering if that's because they do have the Superblast sitting at 200, so they need to reserve the best of the best for that shoe, whereas Brooks, this is their best of the best training shoe, so they can go all in on it. But as with most things, I completely forget about it when I'm on the run. The main thing that's going to matter is the midsole. So we'll be checking for how does this midsole do with some faster pace. I'm not sure if I'll be able to completely drop the hammer here because we're in the middle of a city, but I will try to do some pickups, some 400-meter pickups this morning, and then hopefully we'll be able to get at least an hour. So with that, guys, let's go out there and get some miles in. Hold on, I'm going to slam a little half Cliff Bar action before we go. I realize I haven't eaten any food. I was trying to find a route here, and it looks like there's this thing called the El Camino Real. I've never heard of this, but apparently it's a 600-mile trail connecting all the Spanish missions, or 21 of them in California. So that's what we're going to do this morning. See if we can pop out of the hotel, get on the El Camino Real. Let's do it. I do need my hotel key card. That would have been annoying. Oh, elevator grip test. It does seem like the grip is going to be a little bit better in these. Alright, let's see if we can do this. Oh, it's a little chilly out here. Man, look at that mountain. Can you see that? Dude, that is crazy. Alright, let's see. So we gotta just take a right up Monterey Street, and then I think we can take a right on El Camino Real, and then we'll be good. Let's do this. Alright, we're in action in the Magic Speed 4. And as soon as I start running in it, softens up a touch, which is nice. So this does not feel as firm as the Hyperion Max 2. It's probably just a little bit softer. Definitely not as soft as the SC trainer. Actually, I don't know. that shoe got a little bit firmer. This thing trying to put me on the highway? Is that what the El Camino Real is? It had a green thing. I don't know if that's just for bikes. So we might need to readjust our plans. We'll see. Yeah, it looks like this is to get on the highway. So I think that's the bike trail. We're gonna go back and pop through town instead. See, this is why I always just do the treadmill on vacation. It's so much easier than dealing with these shenanigans. But early overreaction with the Magic Speed 4. And now I have in my head Boston 12. Everyone keeps saying that. But disregarding that, my initial thoughts really early, smooth and bouncy and easy to run in, which is something that I cannot say about a lot of Asics shoes. They make good shoes that are specialized but not easy to run in. And man, I'm probably going at a 7:30 pace or something right now, so not super fast, and it feels like a cruiser. It doesn't feel punishing or harsh at all at my warm-up pace, which is a pleasant surprise. And boy, is it cold. I probably could have even used a jacket. Oh my goodness. See, I was complaining about the heat, and then we come to Central California, now I'm complaining about the cold. There's always something to complain about, or there's always something to be happy about, like these mountain views. Man, this feels a little like a race shoe, but way more comfortable than the Meta Speed shoes. The Sky Paris was super aggressive. This is not aggressive. So far, it's a nice cushioned platform to land on, and it does not feel like it's punishing a heel strike, which was my issue with those Meta Speed shoes. All right, I'm gonna warm up into this run. Hopefully we can get onto some sort of a, I don't even know. This street is okay. I'll just go back and forth if I need to, but I'll pop this thing on in a bit. All right, downtown San Luis Obispo. It's a vibe. It's a super chill vibe. You got the skate shop. Little hoagies action. Home of the Pismo wrap. Let's go. Oh man, that looks fire. Field day coffee. All right, now I know. So that was mile 1, 7:57 pace. But we gotta jog down here and then depart from field day next time. A little movie theater action. Fremont, let's go. This town must have been built in, I was gonna say 19th century. Look at that, 1894. Yeah, it's giving me big New England vibes. Massachusetts a little bit, with the era that these buildings were built. Shout out to United Toilets putting in the work. Look at that. Little purple flowers, I don't even know what that's called. This is the millennial part. You have the store that sells Viore and Rourke. You have the Lululemon. And look at this, nice little park. So we just came from the park over there. I'm gonna bang a right down this side. The street looks nice. And I'm glad I brought my phone with me. It's a little bit less anxiety inducing. Oh, a little greenway? Nah, very city-ish. And it looks like there might be a path down there.
we're gonna bang some city miles. It's right in the street like a real sicko. All right, mile 2, that was a 7:44 pace, so still warming up into the run. And so far, my biggest surprise is how smooth this shoe feels. It's not as aggressive as I had anticipated, so I do want to start throwing down some pace pickup here. And we have some nice wide open streets right now, so I might be able to just bang a few laps back and forth on the street to get some pace in. So what we're gonna do this morning is alternating 400s. So one 400 down between 5K and 10K pace, and then one 400 between, let's see, half marathon and steady zone. So that'll be a 400 for me between 5:30 and 5:50, and then a 400 between 6 and 7. Call that a flow. So not a true recovery. True recovery would be between 7 and 8, but a little bit of easing back. Now we're in the Railroad Historic District. Nice. It's a good sticker blasted Jeep right there. But all right, first 400, let's do it. All right, so that was the first one. I actually got this workout from Mr. Rubio, the Running Warehouse co-founder, last night. He said this was his favorite workout, so shout out to him. But man, it's hard to do this float. So backing off down to steady zone versus going true recovery. But shoe really comes alive for faster running, getting some of that snap off the plate. And a lot of that firmer bounce when running fast, similar to the Superblast. All right, this workout's gonna take some focus, so I'll give you an update in a bit. It's a thick wrapped Gladiator. It's blooming over here. I've just been banging random turns, so we could be lost, but we're gonna be halfway through after this next rep. So my legs feel pretty horrible right now. I don't really know why, because I only ran 8 miles yesterday. It could be because just the travel, but super tight. So the float or recovery at 650 feels fine. It's just, man, trying to bang down to the 530, it's just not coming this morning. So taking most of these at 550. All right, this is the last one here. Not hitting my paces this morning. The speed fitness is not where it needs to be. We're coming off a big volume build, so that's okay. I also think I might be underestimating the hilliness over here. Oh man, we're going straight uphill. All right, so that was 3 miles of pace work. That's a nice Raptor. Mr. Rubio said to do that for 4 miles, but we're just gonna get 3 this morning. Man, my speed is severely lacking. It's crazy because my recoveries were 6:30, 6:40, just right off a marathon pace, 6:50 for some of them, and it felt completely fine. But then as soon as I try to get down 2 more gears, down past 6 flat, it's just a struggle. I just don't have that turnover. And for some reason, my legs do feel super dead this morning. So I think that might be part of it. But mileage is mileage. And we got into mileage, so that's what matters. But that is a fun workout, man. Give that one a shot. So do a 2 to, depending on how much volume you do a 2 to 4 mile warm up. And then it's just on and off quarter miles or 400 meters for as long as you like. If you're doing a 2 mile warm up, probably just do 2 miles of it if your volume isn't super high. But if you're running 60, 70, 80 miles per week, you can probably do it for 3 or 4 miles, maybe even 5 miles. And the thing is, so people ask if I train by heart rate. I do not, but I can tell based on a run like this. I don't know what my heart rate was, but my effort, my aerobic effort, how hard I was breathing, how it felt the body was working, not just my legs, didn't feel that high. It's just the turnover in my legs wasn't there. So I'm gonna try a new approach, I think, for the next marathon build. Mr. Rubio also put me onto some game, doing more of concentrated volume during the week. So back to back super high days and hard days. So maybe do an 18 mile day followed by a 22 mile day, and then next day bring it down to 8. So more true recovery. So shout out to Mr. Rubio. He gave me a lot of good training insights last night. Man, that is a fire Tacoma. Toyota just has the best wheels on the TRDs. Look at those things. I love those bronze wheels. Right. I'm gonna pause for a second actually, just so I can find my way back to the hotel. iPhone unavailable. Oh my goodness, I must have been accidentally, pressing the passcode when I was running. So I'm just gonna guess which way it looks like back to downtown. So you need to use the bathroom. So this way looks kind of downtowny. Let's just try it. But the shoes, how are the shoes? They feel very much like an Asics. If you've tried the Nova Blast, if you've tried the Superblast, you could probably imagine in your head what a plated version for training of either of those two would feel like. All right, I'm just completely lost here. I think it's back this way. And now as I'm doing the cool down mileage, definitely does not feel like a super comfortable shoe. I can feel the carbon a little bit more because we are in Carbon County. Oh, would you look at that? there's a Rite Aid. I actually need to get an SD card, so this is perfect. Little bathroom stop, SD card, and hopefully our iPhone will get us back to where we need to go. Ended up in the grocery store. All right, so it turns out we're only 3 minutes away, which is not bad, but it's kind of deceiving when you're in a random city. It's scary, man. You don't know where anything is, but might get a little bit of extra mileage here. Then we can bang back to the hotel and do this breakdown. So usually with these marathon training shoes, I'll find that after, I don't know, 6 to 7 to 8 miles, they start to feel better, more comfortable, more broken in. The higher stack is starting to make more sense. With this guy, I'm feeling the opposite. And this isn't necessarily their high stack marathon training shoe. That would be Superblast. But with this guy, it does have a little bit more of that race aggressive feel as I'm getting more time on feet in it. It's starting to feel a little bit less comfortable. The foam is collapsing a lot more, and I think that's going to be the benefit of having a 100% race foam versus this training foam. Those race foams maybe stand up a little bit more to the time on feet. With this, I'm thinking this is really going to be a protective speed day option versus a long run option. But yeah, we're only 46 minutes in right now, actually. So it's definitely not a low stack shoe, but relative to all those other shoes on the market, this is definitely taking that speed path versus the Superblast, that protection path. Presented without comment. Hopefully I don't get in trouble here, but all right, that was our silliness for the day. Man, you can hear that carbon snapping off the ground. All right, guys, back in the hotel room. I made sure that we got, boom, at least an hour. So I did a little bit of trickeration in front of the hotel and got 1 hour and 9 seconds, average 7:22 pace, 8 miles. And can you see our route on the map here on the bottom left? That's where we were doing most of the workout, and I was just turning around in random streets down there. But it was fun. This is a absolutely beautiful place to run, man. And imagine what it would be like to live here and wake up to these mountain views. I mean, I talk about trade-offs all the time, and the trade-off here is the real estate is absolutely astronomical. I was talking to one of the guys whose sister bought a townhouse here, about 2,000 square feet, $750. It's just, man, California is expensive, but the trade-off is you get the mountains and the absolutely perfect running weather and the water and everything. But out in Charlotte, we got good real estate prices, lots of space, and we still do have the greenery, and then we have the mountains about 2 hours away. But we have, let's see, we got 8 miles. We have about 17 minutes until I got to do my next thing, which is they're making us do some sort of shenanigans in the Magic Speed 4, and they also asked me to wear the Asics stuff, so I'm gonna do it and go along with it. But my general policy here, guys, and I did want to share this with you, is I'm not accepting any trips from the brands right now. This was from Running Warehouse, so that's why I'm doing it. Also, they were the first one to reach out to me back when I had under 2,000 followers. They saw me, what they called working my magic at the running event, and wanted me to become a partner. So they've helped me a lot throughout the past year. So that's why I'm doing all this stuff, and they're still helping me with the new shoes and everything. So shout out to Running Warehouse. If you do pick these up, by the way, use my Running Warehouse link. But that is all to say, you're probably going to see me in a bunch of the Running Warehouse videos. I don't really know what they're going to do with the stuff, but I agreed to do it. I'm not working directly with the brands. I'm doing it all through Running Warehouse. But all right, let's pop these things off, and then we can do a little breakdown here.
So it seems like every run that I've done over the past few weeks, I take off the shoe and I say, man, wow, that was a comfortable shoe. That was a comfortable ride. These shoes are just getting so comfortable. No, that's not what we're going to say with the Magic Speed. This is like the Hyperion Max. This is a shoe designed more for speed than for comfort. And man, this upper just fits a little bit weird. I'm fighting to get it off. And you can see, people always ask me how I keep my shoes so clean. I've told you, because we're in the burbs. Look at this. We got some scuffing. We got some dirt out in the city today, and they tell you internal carbon. So dirty, firm, and harsh. That is my take on the Magic Speed 4. No, I'm just kidding. But it is a narrower fitting shoe. Now, it's not the toe box is super narrow, but the whole platform throughout definitely feels narrow. A little bit similar to those Metaspeed shoes. And I do think this would make a great partner to those Metaspeed shoes. If you like the Sky Paris or Edge Paris, I think you'll actually really like this. All right, guys, so we got 8 miles in the Magic Speed this morning. I don't have that much time, so we're going to keep the breakdown relatively brief here, and then I want to come back at the end of the day and do probably another 5-minute wrap up. So this shoe does feel nice and fast. Now, it's a nice in-between type of foam where it's not super firm like the Hyperion Max. It's not super soft like the Balos or even like a Power Run PB. It really is right in the middle, and that's what I felt about the Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris and Edge Paris. Once you started running fast in those shoes, they weren't the firmest, they weren't the softest, but they responded really well to faster running. And that's what this does. So think about those 3 questions that we like to answer with the shoes. How do they do versus the intended purpose? Now, this is designed to be a higher stack, more protective speed training shoe, and it does that well, but after running in it, despite this high stack and how tall it looks, it doesn't feel like the most protective shoe given a lot of the other options in this category. SC Trainer, Deviate, all those other options that we had feel a little bit more protective for longer miles. Even we just did an hour this morning, and as I pulled it back to my more relaxed recovery zone, it felt not harsh, but maybe a little bit harsh. It felt like I could really feel the carbon, and the narrowness of the platform just does not do it any favors for heel striking at slower, relaxed paces. So it does accomplish one part of that intended purpose really well, which is the fast speed characteristics, but when it comes to being a little bit more versatile, which is what I like to look for, I think the other shoes probably have the edge. Now, I do need to do a double day or a long run test to really see how this does for some longer time on feet, but it seems like the foam just starts to compress down a little bit too much, and it could benefit from just a touch more width if it were to be that protective option. But they also have the Superblast, which complicates things, right? This is $170, Superblast is $200, so they are not trying to do everything with this shoe. The problem though is for the consumer, most people out there aren't going to buy both this and the Superblast. So me as a reviewer needing to recommend, what's the best speed training shoe, I don't know if I would recommend this for most people, and this is the first run review, just because it does feel a little bit more specialized. So out of the box here, yes, it feels fast. Yes, it feels lightweight. Yes, it has a nice bounce, a nice roll. I do like the feeling of the foam underfoot. It has that typical Asics character of that compression, but how do I describe this? It compresses a lot, but it's not soft. And that's the issue with the Superblast. Running fast, it could feel like it compresses a lot, but it's not super soft, which creates almost this confusing dynamic with the shoe. So this doesn't have as much of a problem as I had with the Superblast, where sometimes it felt a little bit like I was fighting against the foam. I don't get that here because of the plate. This almost feels like a plated Superblast 1. That was actually something that I had asked for. And another way to think about it is maybe like a little bit of a taller Takumi Sen type of shoe. So still lightweight, still narrow like the Takumi Sen, but a lot more protective. And with the Takumi Sen, I would not want to take that shoe up to an hour or past an hour. I could do a 2-hour long run in this just fine. It's just that with all the other shoes on the market, if I were going to recommend one shoe for someone to do a 2-hour long run, probably wouldn't be this. But in terms of the workout we did those alternating 400. So one 400 tried to get down to 5K, 10K pace, which I was missing on most of them. And then another 400 float at a recovery zone, which was more of around 6:30 to 7. And I was able to hit those floats really well. And it didn't feel like I was gassing myself every time. Just my legs couldn't quite crank it up today, which means I got to work on my speed. Maybe pull down the volume a little bit to get faster. But the shoe handled all of that really well, especially in that float zone, which is closer to marathon pace. This was a nice shoe. So I think this is going to be a great tempo option shoe. It wasn't the absolute best for getting super fast. So for me, going down to that 530, 540, something like the Takumi Sen, something a little bit lighter, might have been the optimal shoe. But I think this is going to be a nice tempo shoe, nice marathon shoe. It could even be a half marathon shoe where someone wants something to train in, something to run in, do long runs in with half marathon race pace and half marathon workouts. This would be a really nice option. So the second question that I always answer is, how does this do versus everything else in the category, which I've talked about a little bit. It's not as comfortable and it doesn't feel as protective as those other three that we just brought in here. SC Trainer V3, Deviate Nitro 3, and the Brooks, I'm forgetting, there's a lot of plated trainers right now, and the Brooks Hyperion Max 2. The Hyperion Max 2 feels like it stands up a little bit better to force, and I still think that one is the best fast shoe, especially for bigger runners. This one, I think if you're lighter on your feet, you'll really like this. So if you're a high cadence runner, if you don't compress the foam a whole lot, you might like this more than the Hyperion Max 2, because that one is very firm, but it also, this is not a super soft mushy foam. It is right in that nice sweet spot for faster running. Now thinking about the other taller stack shoes like the SC Trainer V3 and the Deviate Nitro 3, those are definitely more of those max cushion cruisers going up against the Superblast. This is a little bit lighter and faster. So compared to the other shoes in the category, this is definitely a little bit more of a specialized shoe, given that Asics does have the Superblast, and I guess that's specialized as well for longer distances. This is specialized a little bit more for top end speed and shorter distances, though after this first run, I don't think it's the best option, at least for me, for top end speed. So to answer that third question, how does this do versus everything else in the market? It is a specialized shoe, which is the thing that I think I'm most surprised about. It's closer to a Takumi Sen than it is to a Superblast almost, at least to me on this first run. And I do need to get some more miles in it, but just that narrowness and how it felt towards the end of the run makes me feel like it's not gonna be a mass appeal shoe. It is fun, it is lightweight, it is fast, but I think some of the other options with just the wider bases and maybe slightly softer foams are gonna have a little bit of a broader appeal. But for the right buyer, if you're marathon training or half marathon training and want a fast shoe, and I know we have a lot of Asics fanboys out here, then this will be a nice pick. So we're gonna do some more testing on this actually throughout the day. I will circle back. I have 3 minutes to shower. I'll circle back at some point later this day to wrap it up. I'm actually going to need to be wearing this around, so maybe it'll soften up a little bit more and give me a little bit more comfort. So with that, guys, I'll see you in a bit. Bro, I think they got me in the 3-inchers today. The 3-incher split shorts. I did not sign up for this.
I've never met her. I've never seen her.
Live to run. What do you think? This challenge better than the
Split shorts are not my choice.
Is this an outfit?
It was
Little donut challenge. They got me the special vegan one. Shout out to them.
That one's for you.
Thank you.
Here's in your run-of-the-mill standard donut mile. Over to my left, we've got a large amount of donuts, and the rules are you got 10 minutes before to eat as many donuts as possible, but you might want to strategize a little bit because after that 10 minutes is done, there's a 1 mile race. Every donut that you eat, you get a 20-second handicap. So if you eat 10 donuts, that's a 200-second handicap over everyone else. You eat 0 donuts, you're going to be the last one to go across the starting line. So a little bit of strategy involved. I'm going to let you guys think it over. You might want to have 2, 5, 7, 10, 15 donuts. There's no limit.
Penalties for puking?
There is a 1-lap penalty for puking. That's for you, Drew.
So you can still...
Oh man, this is intense. I think if we do 3, get a 3-second or 1 minute handicap, I think that's gonna be good.
We are not responsible.
Can we start eating? Okay.
Why does it already have his name on the podium?
Mine are a little smaller, so I just want to be fair. Maybe it's like, what's the they're okay. They're more of the yeah. No, the gluten-free, bro, the almond flour, that's gonna sit like lead.
It's almost like you should get a...
Yeah.
Every 20 seconds, the next wave will go.
All right, a little warm-up. Boom. Warm-up mileage, 2.3 miles, 750. Had some strides in the end. Feeling good. All right, so I officially have my strategy locked. I'm going to go for
3 of these things and try to put down a 5:30, which you get 20 seconds for each donut. So that would be a 4:30. Let's see how it goes.
Does someone have a paper towel?
Yeah, that's a.
Hey, you want me to count?
Connor.
Should I be counting these two guys?
No, Connor.
We're clean.
Really?
I'm gonna have David and Liz.
I'd say the big
And the cheater shoes. And the cheater shoes.
This guy.
Hey, it was approved by Connor.
That's true.
They have. It's not like a race. It's not like they have to eat them fast, right?
No,
10
you,
minutes.
you got 10 minutes.
Eat as many as you want.
So, you go.
Also, feel free mid 10 minutes. David will be on timer giving warnings. Maybe a 5-minute and a 1-minute. Yeah. And then feel free to talk to the cameras if you want. Have fun with this. This is all. Yeah.
How many minutes total?
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
I'm more worried about getting stiff.
All right, everyone, grab your first donut.
I'm having all mine at once.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
All right, we're gonna need maybe
heavy.
Thomas. You can be the rest to kind of do a final, like a
Definitely
countdown
more.
here.
Definitely
Maybe up
more.
front,
This is
kinda
like
give a-
400 grams right here.
You want it up front?
Yeah.
All right. All right, like Connor said, we brought here today to watch the carnage of donuts going down, along with a mile here at the Cow Poly track, and we're pretty excited. I'm going to give the countdown right now for the donuts. On your marks, get set, go!
All right, there I go. 4 at a time.
Very good. Oh.
My competitive nature is going to get the best of me going after Connor trying to do more of these.
Taking her time on this donut. And then you have Boulder's
Donut.
own Carl.
I do wonder if this is, you know, rude to competitive eaters, because we didn't represent
Eating
them.
the donut, making sure she doesn't get too low.
How we
doing? How we doing?
Donut. Donuts. All right.
These things are Theo.
What that means is dissecting it.
I think my pancreas is going to have a heart attack in a second.
Physiologically possible?
Yeah.
These are really thick.
4 donuts.
Gluten-free and vegan. This is the thing. Almond flour is something.
Does he get additional points? Because I feel like those weigh more than
These are
Yeah.
these are heavy.
I just touched my watch with my.
It's like a baseball.
Thomas, what do you think? Is this 2?
No, he's still young.
Donut.
He doesn't get points.
Okay.
Donut.
2.
Carl.
I don't think I can do more.
Carl, what donut are we on?
4.
Wow, Carl. He's at 5.
Holy cow.
Connor's at 5.
Connor's going for the donut approach.
And the most water spillage on the singlet, for sure.
Sure, you.
I don't know if I can
chew.
do a third one.
Mastication's important.
Or you just gotta run 20 seconds faster.
7 minutes left.
I think it might be worth it.
7? We're good. We're cruising.
Donut.
Denver. Ashley Mateo. Going for donut number 2. All right.
Time check.
Did you make it through all 4?
5?
No, I'm about like 2 1/4.
That's a risky strategy because if he doesn't finish it, he gets 0 donuts.
What?
I like that.
No one said that.
I'm tapping out at 2.
What?
Is it the donuts or did you say
Smart.
Probably before.
It's like a Hoka Skyward X. You know, it's a little bit of a denser,
What if
Material?
like with
but it's getting the job done. It's getting the job done.
Somebody has a phone again.
And the taste is great. It almost tastes like an apple cider donut that you might get at the state fair.
I need a whistle too,
So I'm a
like
fan.
a little.
I'll give it a 10 out of 10.
So we got a lot of time left. I'm already 6 donuts in. I'm way ahead of everyone. Now it's like getting that big lead.
Now it's time to like pace it.
I just cruise. I enjoy the donuts.
How many donuts did you have, Dr. Klein?
I'm done with 2.
2 donuts. 2 donuts for Dr. Klein.
Man,
I gotta keep going. That's the only way I'm gonna eat it in a mile.
He's doing it too.
what's killing me is the frosting on these boys. Yeah.
Now you're questioning your life choices.
Yeah.
You know?
They are a little smaller, but they are dense.
Hey, Dave, we got a time check?
Yeah, we have 5 minutes left. We're halfway through.
Wow.
Donut.
Donut. 2.
Connor, you finished?
Okay, I've officially finished 1 donut. I've unlayered.
It does way more than the Magic Speed 4.
Yeah.
I see a new career for you as the like.
Donuts used to be my favorite food.
Donut.
Do any of these
Monster
have
Show now.
like the land drone on them or anything?
Did you get my second donut?
Through all
I
of
know
them.
Lisa said this. Is anybody else feeling really hot right
Yeah,
now?
I'm feeling
like,
hot.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I always feel hot.
Connor better watch out.
3 minutes left.
I have 8 donuts every morning. This is just a walk in the park.
You knew what the challenge was. You were training for this.
That is true. That's a -3. I feel like -3
Although
penalty.
he did eat his whole burger last night. That was not probably the smartest move.
I need a time.
2.5 minutes
Oh
left.
shit.
Connor's almost in the negative time
Yeah,
for
that's
his mile.
about all I can do. That was a good donut.
He's gonna be the first sub-zero.
Remember, if he throws
Every now and then we'll flip through.
Skechers Max Road 6 walking review. Is that your go-to work shoe?
Yeah, this is my go-to work shoe.
So you like it better than like the Brooks Ghost Max and Hoka's and stuff?
I've never worn running shoes ever in my life. I'm more of a flip-flops kind of guy.
Yeah.
And since working at Sports Warehouse, you can't wear open-toed shoes.
Okay.
And so John from Running Warehouse was like, hey, I got an extra pair of Skechers. You want them? I'm like, heck yeah. And then since wearing these, it's changed my life.
Wow.
It's like walking on clouds.
Yeah.
And then 2, my plantar fasciitis is completely gone.
Wow, that's
So,
amazing. Yeah,
yeah.
those are good shoes. I ran them. They're super comfortable. I just
Really?
love the cushion. Yeah.
It's dude. Coming from like
Flip-flops.
never wearing,
and- yeah.
it's insane.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah,
thanks,
huge
man.
fan.
Go buy them on Running Warehouse.
You need the drone or anything for now?
Almost time to start this shenanigans. Total shenanigans this morning.
Everywhere, changing up the environment helps better for Instagram. Yeah. You're not going to do. I'm also really bad. But also like and like the one.
Is right now and memorize your time.
20.
Yep.
Caleb, Risa, Lisa, Carl, and Ashley, you're all 140.
It's a little Magic Speed 4 update before we get this donut mile in. They actually are pretty comfortable, especially out here on the track. They're just narrow. And I'm really not sure where this fits in the Asics lineup with the Superblast and the race shoes. It's a little bit of a confusing shoe.
Probably somebody that has an iron stomach that it's helping, but we don't know who it is because like it's not.
So I'm gonna make this joke
I
again.
threw up 30 squirts without.
So if you throw up, you have to get an extra lap. What happens if it comes out the other end? Is it subtracted? What did they say?
What did they say? Throw up on the infield if we have to.
You should get an extra penalty.
That's what I said, Robert.
They didn't say any like at the race line, like at the line. Finish at the triangle, start and finish. Yeah.
Do I get this? Yeah, maybe kind of quickly. Yeah, get up.
They're very polished over here at Running Warehouse Productions.
Running Warehouse. I mean, Cleveland Roddy would have been gone. I'm impressed in some ways. Annoyed at others.
Here we go, Connor!
Connor, you suck.
Throw it all up! Puke! You want to! Puke!
Other athletes aren't really feeling. All right, count me down. 15 to 20. Give me the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! All right. I gave you a little teeth, Drew. I think you guys are all safe though.
Next cruise the 140?
Yeah. So Risa,
Caleb, Risa, Carl.
Carl.
A lot of forward.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
I would much rather run a
I'm coming in 20 seconds.
And you guys are in
We've got you one up next.
10 seconds for 20 minutes. 9, 8, 7.
Let's go, Drew. Let's go. Let's go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Legionnaire off. There we go.
All right, 5:30 pace. Magic Speed, feeling a little mushy. It's hurting now. It's hurting. All right, I think that was my fastest mile ever. Here we go, Lisa. I got a 450 something. Never run a mile on track in the Magic Speed. There we go.
We have Melissa and Naomi in third place.
Woo!
Lisa in second.
Woo!
And
Yeah, I did. Like no one was here.
Yeah.
was also in that tent.
if you guys want coffee,
Well, yes.
okay. I'll bring it. Yeah, that'd be.
Connor, you have any final words of wisdom for the hobby joggers out there?
Just practice your eating, practice your running. It's all about miles and calories.
What's your real long run fueling strategy?
My long run fueling strategy.
Yeah.
When I'm not eating donuts.
Yeah, when you're not pounding 2,000 calories of
I'm
donuts.
usually a one Morton,
Okay.
about halfway through, and a little water. I'm a simple guy.
Sweet. And you bring the water with you, or you have a stop where
I
you?
got the fountains along the
Oh,
way.
clutch.
I'm as minimal as possible. I
Yeah.
got shorts and shoes.
Yeah, this guy doesn't even use a watch half the time.
no.
Yeah, yesterday no watch.
No, this was weighing me down a little bit today.
Are you asking from a like physical standpoint? Or
I'm asking.
I mean, Joey Chestnut. All right, we're back in the hotel room. It is only, what time is it? 10:31, but I feel like it's about 2 a.m. right now. I'm super tired. This time shift is messing me up, and this is about to be a 90-minute video or something, but it's going to be a banger because we got a lot of good stuff. We got some good insights from Matt from Doctors of Running. Shout out Matt. By the way, he said we were talking some stability shoes, and I think I'll try to link up with him to do a run and get some more of his thoughts, but he said that he hasn't tested the 860 yet, which I told him he's got to try. But he said he loves the zoom structure as a pick for bigger runners, which is what I've been suggesting. So we have some Doctors of Running certified picks. But anyways, final thoughts on the Magic Speed here after having it on my foot since, 6 a.m. So I've had this on for about 4 hours. It is a comfortable shoe. I've had it on for 4 hours. It is a max stack shoe. It's not like the Takumi Sen in that I want to take it off immediately. So if you wanted a shoe to maybe walk in for something like this, where say you're going to be doing some track days for marathon training and you have to drive or commute in the city to the Brooklyn Track Club or whatever, this could be a good shoe. The thing is though, so I ran a 454 mile. That was actually the fastest mile I ever ran. And the combination of this high stack, a little bit of a softer foam, I don't know, it's confusing because it felt firmer out of the box and then it felt a little bit soft when I was running fast. So I don't know, but the way that the foam compresses combined with the soft track felt like I could use a little bit of a firmer shoe. I think the Hyperion Max 2, I just prefer that for faster running. So this was nice. It does have my mile PR and my legs feel protected. That's the thing. It is a nice protective shoe for shorter distances. So I think this is more the way that I'm going to look at it, which I said earlier, a little bit more of a beat up. Or sorry, not beat up. I am tired. A little bit more. I am beat up. I'm a little bit more of a beat up version of myself from yesterday, but a little bit more of a built up Takumi Sen is how I would think about this shoe. And if you want that long distance cruiser, that's where the SC Trainer V3 or the Deviate Nitro 3 is going to come in. And then Hyperion Max 2, if you want something a little bit firmer and honestly a little bit faster feeling. This does feel faster than the Magic Speed 4. So that was a fun one today, guys. I'm going to shower and then get on with the day. I can't believe it's only 10:30. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another video. Oh, one more thing, guys. The 3-inchers, they are short. They are really short. This is going up basically to my hip bone. You see that right there? That's my hip bone. The 3-incher split shorts, they are short, but they are growing on me. So you guys better watch out in Mint Hill. I'm going to pull up with that thigh. Just flexing on him with that exposed thigh. Bang. Out here like I'm Megan the Stallion. Bang.